Fail to sneak past enemies, prepare to fight. Okay. For Pathfinder, or why not make guides for builds you're using on characters? I already have.
Fun.
The... Whoa.
No glory without risk!
This is not great. Our healer has been jumped.
Assist me.
And he is down. This is actually really not good. Yo, why did it start me in a fight like this? This is awful.
This is my chance to run.
Like, this is straight awful. Is Lorenity, what's her class? Bard, of course. This could be very bad.
The light, take you.
Let's hear you cry.
We're gonna have to rest after this. It literally started me in a fight with my squishiest people in the back getting ripped apart.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Oh my god, dude, whatever this guy is, grown Nabasu, he is tearing us to pieces. Alright. Fire at will magic missiles. Burn all the magic you've got. Holy crap. And there's still one more. A succubus.
Let's try this way.
Oh, yes. Pocket Raptor for 29 damage. Lorenity suffered a crippling. Yeah, everybody got destroyed in that battle. That was just a random fight on the road. Yeah, the healer went down first. So just completely, like, snuck up on us unbuffed, and we weren't in formation. Like, these two were my tanks, and it was like all the enemies were right here. That was awful. Why is Noxie a Norn instead of an Asura? She's an elf. Like, that's her outfit. She said that she was Dutch, and she was cursed with a tall, slender frame. So I picked the tallest, slenderest thing I could find, which was elf. She was here when we made the character. She was being encouraging. Okay. That was friggin' awful. Heading back to camp to get this wound removed. Oh, Noxie. Sorry. Noxie is the, Lorenity is the one I just showed. Noxie is the gnome with green hair. I picked the closest thing to a small green goblin I could find. Hang on. That's Nox. Pathfinder guides or separate videos are part of Let's Play. Oh, no. I said I was considering making some guides to the game for stuff I know. Chip is a Sabretooth, yep. Nice sketch, I quite like it. Yes, would you believe it, I am capable of not spitting poison every time I open my mouth. I'm actually quite well disposed toward works of art, in fact. Okay. Here's the large character. Now, the large one is what I made up. I took the word She-Hulk, and I just squished it down to Shulk. And we've got this half-orc barbarian woman. And Noxie will cast Enlarged Person on the on Shulk each fight, and make her like really, really big size, and she does way more damage. But she's also an easier target, so she needs a tank in front of her. Okay. Alright, we got the band back together.
I guess it's time to deliver the sub, baby.
The sub baby. Thank you, Mother Moose. I hope you're doing well. I know you had some... Oh, wait, was that you or the other moose? One of the mooses had some bad stuff happen recently. Enemy encounter. We've got 2 mooses here, chat. We got some meese here. It throws me off constantly.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Putting the tanks on those 2. All DPS turn and kill that one first. Okay.
Cover me.
There we go. Alright. That's a much better battle.
I'll go ahead.
But yes, Mukluk Douglas felt that'll be Reginald Esquire the 4th, that's the Johnson Vegetables the 3rd one, because you win Furion, Lone Star, Xanners, and Mother Moose to the lab. Hope you enjoy your stay. Entertainment is on the way. Crank up the speakers, still touch the bakers, giveaways every week. Please take a seat, but you'll only need the edge. Welcome. Quick rest, because they're tired. Thinking about cultists hiding when the townsfolk has put me on edge, I don't want to suspect every person I meet. Trust is vastly overrated. You can take my word for it. I would not lie to you. The joke there is we can't trust him. Alright. Man, how do I get more resources? Why is Pathfinder called Pathfinder? There's actually, in the game, there is a Pathfinder society. They're like the quest givers and stuff like that. When you hire adventurers, you're hiring mercenaries from the Pathfinder Society, stuff like that. I don't know a lot about them, but like I know they exist.
Into the fray.
This is not good. They ignored the tank.
This will hurt. A calculated risk.
Ow.
This
Yeah, so I had my tanks run out, but then the enemies just were smart and ran right past them. I love that fast healing too. Who is it? I think it was Laura. She had a ability she got that when anyone's listening to her song, they start healing more rapidly. And that's been very, very nice. Is it Fascinate? No, it wasn't Fascinate. It was something else. A new Inspire arrival. Confidence. I don't remember what it was. Sounds like songs Rest of Bard has. Yeah, I'm trying to... Lingering Performance, Extra Performance. Caden Kalen. Fast Stealth, Fascinate. Trickery. I swear, I know she has it. I just can't remember what it is that's giving her that ability. But yeah, she's got something in here that is giving her that, and it's been very nice. Okay.
No mistakes.
Who else hurt? Not enough to use an AoE heal right now. Alright.
Everything has a price.
Okay. So this is just an ambush, so I'm gonna step outside. Alright, got 2 locations over here. This is like an army we're sneaking past. Chili Creek. See what this is. So we basically got our little band of adventurers, and we got an army, and the army is not able to handle all these other armies that we're near. So we're just sneaking around with our band right now. This is a big area. I think I'm actually going to buff up.
Becoming distracted leads to becoming dismembered.
Dark skin. And raptor aspect.
I will help where I can.
Auto rage.
The world's not ending just yet.
Mage armor, because that lasts hours. Wow, the pocket. Hold on a sec. Pocket raptor. Oh, Pocket Raptor got a lot of health. I'm surprised. Dude, I can't. The next level is going to be good because all the pets are going to get really large. Is that a Pocket Raptor? Yes, it is. All the pets are going to supersize on the next level up. It's going to be big. Alright, last one.
I know the way.
Jernog? Jernog walks thoughtfully around the grove. He pauses in front of a few trees, lingering there for some time. He seems to be examining something carefully. At the sound of your footsteps, he turns around abruptly. But the anxious expression on his face quickly gives way to an amiable smile. Commander, it's so good to see you. It seems you found time to visit our quiet backwater after all. It's so quiet here. War makes you forget what peace feels like. I understand. My time in Kennebrus gave me a small taste of war. I only had to live through it for a few days, but I know the horrors I witnessed will haunt my nightmares for years to come. I cannot imagine how hard it is for those like yourself, soldiers who have given their lives to this cause. The priest places a hand on your heart. You have chosen to fight there in order to protect our peaceful and quiet life here, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. What do the locals think of Aristil? They're indifferent. They're pragmatic people, you know. They don't have time for theology. If old Deadeye helps them survive, that's good enough for them. You know, some priests get overzealous with sermons. They demand that people pray, observe all the rituals, make sacrifices, and then those priests, all holy and pious, are surprised when locals kick them out of the village, right into the nearest ditch. The priest laughs. I was taught differently. First, you have to prove your worth. You have to show them why you and your deity are useful. It's only after they've begun to trust you and start asking questions about your faith that you can really share your beliefs. Then you can tell them all about old Deadeye and his teachings. He worships Aristil, who is the god of the hunt. And we saw this guy in town when everything had just gone to crap, and he is a cleric. He had exhausted all of his spells, and he was ripping up his own, like, all of his spare clothes other than what he was wearing to make bandages. And I remember I was like, wow, this guy is pretty cool. I like this guy. Like, he's solid. Do you want to show me around the village? Of course, let's go. You get to meet the locals, see how we live, and maybe you'll even manage to get some peace and quiet, temporary respite from the hardship of war. Don't be offended if you get weird looks. In this remote village, people have never seen an Azamar before. When I first told them about you, I could barely manage to convince them you don't glow and can't fly. Yet. A small dole made of grass is tied to a tree with a dark blue ribbon. 3 old dolls hang from the branches. Their grass and seaweed bodies are rotting away. A straw doll clad in a small, skillfully embroidered light blue dress is tied to the trunk of the nearby tree. Okay, I'm creeped out. What is going on? Why are there dolls in the trees? Old, faded blue ribbons hang from the branches of each tree.
Follow my lead.
A piece of gray ribbon hangs from the branch. What a beast. We've got... Is that a Hydra? Watch out for the huge teeth. Don't let him catch you. Dude, you're too close. You're already dead. Aim for her throat and belly. Fewer scales there. Don't be afraid, everyone. We fought ones bigger than this. Charge! Glad I buffed up. That was a quick fight. Ran him over. That'll teach you to mess with us. A man with green eyes, the broad shoulders of a swimmer, and the calloused hands of a fisherman shakes his fist at the beast's motionless corpse. Something's got him all worked up. That's the second time they've crawled out this month. Let him come. A woman, her eyes the same shade of green as the fisherman, smiles at you. It's not the first time, it won't be the last, but does it matter? They can't hurt us, so we can use their hides to make a lot of waterproof coats and cloaks. Markle, Melissa, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Mukluk, commander of the Crusade. He's the one I told you about. Ah, a real hero in our little backwater. It's so nice of you to drop by. We've never had anyone so important come to visit. Heroic acts are important, but sometimes it's good to leave the front lines and talk to ordinary people living ordinary lives. Anyway, welcome to Chili Creek. You two look confident when you were giving orders during the fight. Are you in charge here? Well, how should I put this? Our village is too small for anyone to be in charge. We just happen to know a thing or two about using a weapon. So if some nasty creature comes crawling out of the water, we give the orders. But when it comes to fishing or fishing nets, we'll be the one following orders. We're not an army, and there's no officers here. We all live together, solve our problems together, and serve the icy rill together. Although truth be told, it's only been in the last few years that people have really started listening to us. Before that, villagers kept to themselves and no one wanting to go poking their nose into anyone else's business. But we first came up with the idea to start trading on the river. The other villagers stubbornly dug in their heels, but after money and goods began flowing into the village, they changed their minds. What kind of game is this? Pathfinder. It's based off of Dungeons and Dragons, you know, like when you roll dice to determine what's going to happen. And, Faradram, don't spam my chat. But the game has got a lot of customization, mountain of customization. So it's a lot you can really dig into. It's also a story where you can replay it. You could do an evil playthrough, a good playthrough, a lawful playthrough, a chaotic playthrough, anything in between. Continue. Yes, the village has been growing. We're starting to see all sorts of things that we've only ever heard about before. The year before last, we had a fair. People came all the way from Kennebrus to attend. Then a priest came, and we'd never seen one of those before in these parts. And now who would have thought the commander of the Crusade has decided to pay us a visit? And not just a commander, but a child of heaven's blood. Around these parts, we only hear about folk born with the blessing of the upper plains and fairy tales. Even as if someone in Mendev, there are lots of you, as people say. Hydras are usually far more dangerous. This beast was not at its full strength. I can tell you have an eye for such things. Of course he does. He's the commander of the Crusade. He's probably could have told you all that with his eyes shut. She smiles at you. It's all thanks to our mother, Icy Rill. She takes care of her children, won't let anyone hurt them. She fills our nets with fish and drives away the monsters. That's right. And if she doesn't drive the beasts away, she'll weaken them so we can kill them and harvest their hides. Icy Rill? Who is that? She's right here. Markle nods toward the river. Did you think this was the Sellen? No, it'd take you half a day's rowing before you reach that river. It's big to be sure, and very important. The Sellen flows through at least a dozen countries, but where would the Great Sellen be if it wasn't fed by thousands of little streams and creeks, such as our dear Icy Rill? The people of Chili Creek hold the river in great reverence. The priest's observation is matter-of-fact, but you notice his voice sounds a bit strained. Priest wants them to worship his god, maybe? How can we not? Our whole lives are built around the river. From the wedding wreath we send down its stream to the funeral boats that float away on the waters when the time comes. Our mother, Icy Rill, feeds us, gives us water, protects us. With a kind smile, he casts a sidelong glance at the frowning priest. The gods are far away, but our Icy Rill is right here, so we treat her with respect. How's life in the village now that you've got a priest? Not much has changed. He shrugs and smiles amiably. He's a good lad. He does some healing, never bothers us with sermons. Why, he's even learning to fish in his spare time. He also knows a lot of songs, and when he sings, it makes you want to sit and listen. Melissa smiles archly at the priest, and he blushes. The world wound is not that far away. Have you ever been... Wow, what is this option? I don't like either of you die. That escalated quickly. The world wound is not that far away. Have you ever been attacked by demons? No, we've never seen any. Our mother, Icy Rill, keeps us safe. She would never let abominations get near us. I assume you two are related? Right you are! Marco ruffles Melissa's hair. She laughs and tweaks his nose. She's my little sister, takes after our granny, may her memory never fade. She was always restless, couldn't sit still, and Melissa is just the same, she's always up to something. And you took after our grandpa, may the river still be his featherbed. You're as brave as he was and just as stubborn. Alright, I have to go. Back to the front. Melissa shakes her head sadly. I can't even imagine the nightmarish creatures you have to fight there. Have a safe journey and a swift victory. Okay.
I take from the rich
Making
and
sure
take
Laura
from
turned
the
the
poor.
song off.
It's my way of supporting equality.
Hydra eyes. Let's look around, see if we can figure out what's going on. This village is obviously weird. Laura, can you pick the lock on this? Nope, it jammed. You can break it.
Got it.
But whatever that was broke. Some random knickknacks. Villagers, Markle, Melissa. Whoa, they teleported here ahead of us. A book. Random stuff. Journaug. What is that? Godspeed salad recipe. Okay.
That is not far.
Who is Shulko? Are they so big? There's a spell called Enlarge Person. It makes you larger and much, much stronger, and I really like the spell, and I cast it on my melee DPS during fights, and it's still running on her right now. Also gives her a longer reach. She can melee things before they're in range of their melee for her. And yes, it is also an Orc Barbarian, or half Orc Barbarian, I think. Wait, what? Why did it pause? Oh, there's a wolf up there. Now, will it come all the way down here?
My instincts dull
Nope,
when
it
I'm
broke combat.
tired.
Okay.
Success.
Villager, villager. No, so the only people in town with a name are the ones that we've already talked to. Let's go down here where that wolf is and see what's going on.
Stab their backs.
So you see, like, where Shulk is right now? She just meleeed this thing from there. That's because of reach weapon plus enlarge person.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
This will hurt.
Oh my god. Alright, hold on. Let me replay what just happened. Shulk killed that one. It feared the others. As these two left her range, she got an attack of opportunity on each of them. She one-shot killed that one, which exploded, and she got a free hit on this one, and it's almost dead.
I'll loot your corpse.
A new arrival. Welcome, new arrival. Hello. Oh my gosh, Jackals.
I'll go ahead.
I'm hoping, like, I would say in the future, if there's like a rare thing on the PSNA, feel free to share that. But if it's not like a rare thing, don't worry about it, just because it's not worth the spam. It is a rare thing. Okay, all right.
Crusading isn't that boring.
Plagued
after all.
Smilodon and Plagued Bear.
Calculated risk.
You feel that? My instincts dull when I'm tired.
That was painful. She took some damage there. More than one attack of opportunity? Yes. That's part of my favorite build. So, she has a, I gave her a skill called Combat Reflexes. And if I make guides for Pathfinder, one of them would be called the long arm, you know, abusing reach. So here's the deal. Normally you can hit things within 5 feet of you. She's using a reach weapon. It has a longer reach. She can hit things within 10 feet of her. When we cast Enlarged Person, she can hit things within 15 feet of her, because that adds another 5 feet. Okay? There's other feats in the Pathfinder pen and paper game, and you can push that even further, but I've only been able to get it up to 15 in this game. Then we took Where is it? We took a skill. Combat reflexes. You get additional attacks of opportunity each round equal to your dexterity modifier. Hers is +3, which means she can do 4 attacks of opportunity per round. Now, what triggers an attack of opportunity? Someone in an area you can melee, and hers is huge, is casting a spell or moving out of a space that you threaten. And she threatens the whole field. So all I gotta do is get her in range of the battle, and she's just like a turret, and she's just whack-a-moles the entire field all over the place. It's an OP feat, only if you use it right. And there's a lot about this game that I don't know, because it's an ocean of information, but that is one of my favorite setups. What is that? Megalosaurus. It's a big moose. So, she is the main damage dealer. Additionally, she is pretty good. She's decent at staying alive because she's behind the tank, usually. She is usually behind the tank. Is Healing Druid or Healing Scourge better in your experience for Raid? They both have a place. So Healing Scourge is not that good at actual healing, but it's the best in the game at getting people that go downstate back up. So it's a great band-aid. Like, a Healing Scourge will let a group that is failing suddenly be able to do a boss that they would not have been able to otherwise. A Druid is just a really good healer in 10-man groups. They are good at getting those health bars back up and other things. Buffs and boons. Why were you examining the trees back in the grove? There are little dolls made of grass and seaweed tied to the branches. They're everywhere, dozens of them. I've asked the villagers what they are, but they just mutter darkly and walk away. I simply don't understand. What is the purpose of the ritual, and why is it being kept secret? How do you like living in the village? I'm getting used to it, but I get the occasional sidelong glance from the locals, but that's not surprising. After all, I'm just some stranger who decided to show up without an invitation and settle down. But the church warned us about this. Such caution is to be expected at first. I just have to do my best to earn their trust. I heal, I purify the water, I give blessings. Sooner or later, they will accept me as one of their own. Some of them have already accepted me as one of their own. Melissa really likes my songs. We see each other every day. Either she'll come see me or I go pay them a visit. Mark always frowns when he watches us together, but she doesn't seem to care at all. She just laughs sweetly and stares at me with those big green eyes, you know. He says dreamily, there was a reason Aristotle guided me to this village. Meeting this woman was worth the long journey. The horrors of Canebras and all the hardships of a fisherman's life. Okay. Thought he might give me more to go on. The commander's here. Welcome back. What are the dolls that hang from the trees? A shadow passes over Markle's face and he looks away. There's nothing much to tell, really. An old local custom. It's just a ritual, Melissa adds in a low voice. No one seems willing to share any further details. When Crusaders are near the World Wound, they often experience nightmares. Do you have any trouble with nightmares here? Don't know what you're talking about. If I'm honest, I sleep like a dead man. Nothing to complain about. How are things going in the village? Not much happens in the village. I'm sure you have a lot going on, and stuff is always happening in the cities and on the front lines, but things are pretty quiet around here. But let's see. What's the latest news from our little village? We went fishing and caught some roof. They were big, too. Nice and plump, fat as piglets, I tell you. What else? Weevils have eaten through our carrots. They gobbled up everything down to the last stalk. Then the other day, old Breg went to fix up his roof and took a hard fall. If it hadn't been for Jernog and his prayers, he'd have kicked the bucket by now, no doubt about that. You mustn't think it's ridiculous to call any of this news. Also, Jernog is downright wonderful. I don't know, maybe his prayers are working or maybe he just has a lucky touch, but whenever he blesses me, I always catch a boatload of fish. Also, he sings like a... Enough already, Markle frowns. Jernog this, Jernog that. It's all I ever hear you talk about. Do you worship any deities here? Faith, religions, deities. With all due respect to Jurnog, no one out here has time for such things. Maybe people in the city can go around saying prayers